to come in there, and I also would like you to respond to various things, that the Congress leader said about the developmental issues within the Karnataka, the state of Karnataka, and various other poll promises, which according to the Congress party, the BJP has not fulfilled.
See, Anusha, it should be shame on part of Congress party or Mr. Nagaraju Yadav, who ruled the same BBMP for 4 years out of 5 years. We got into power only at the last year. Our party has become the mayor at the last year. We should understand that what they were doing for 4 years.
What is the last year?
Hello, boss, Mr. Empty Vessel. Mr. Empty Vessel. I know you don't know anything. You can make only sound. Keep quiet. Keep quiet, Mr. Empty Vessel. Keep quiet, Mr. Empty Vessel.
All right, Mr. Yadav, I'll come to you. I'll give you adequate opportunity to respond. Let Mr. Vishwa make his argument. Let Mr. Vishwa make his argument. Let Mr. Vishwa make his argument. Mr. Yadav, please allow him to make a point. I'll come to you, sir. Please go ahead, Mr. Vishwa.
No, the problem with Mr. Nagaraju Yadav is an empty vessel. He will just keep on shouting. He will keep on making noise.
Okay, no personal comments. Let's come back to the issue. Yes, Mr. Mohan.
That's what, Anusha. See, they were the one who were responsible for all the major problems of Bangalore. That is point number one. Then point number two. See, the point number two, as far as the same Okkaliga politics is concerned, I would like to make one point very clear here is, you should see the dual standards of same Congress party. Mr. Siddaramaiah goes on to, stand a candidate against the Okkaliga leader in Tumkur and defeats Mr. Deve Gowda and also defeats Mr. Mudha Hanume Gowda from his own party. And this side, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar comes and he seeks the votes of Okkaligas. So what does it mean? One side, the same Siddaramaiah, he scolds Okkaligas. He speaks totally against
Mr. Yadav, please go ahead. Mr. Mohan Vishwa, I've given you time. Mr. Nagaraju Yadav, a brief response from you and then I'll go to other guests. Yes, Mr. Yadav, please go ahead. Your time, sir.
Yeah, see, what Mr. Mohan Vishwa is not answering the questions raised by CNN News 18 regarding Bangalore. He's telling the empty vessel. It's actually BJP's empty vessel today. We want Okkaligas, we want Lingayas, we want backward classes, we want minorities, we want scheduled caste, everybody, because Congress.
You are not ready to listen. You are not ready to listen.
Mr. Vishwa, allow him to speak. I'll come back to you.
It is only Hindus come to power. That is not acceptable in democracy and Indian constitution.
I don't think. Okay, I'm going to come back to the topic. I'm going to come back to the topic of the debate, which is the vertical split within the Congress party.
And he has got no substance. No, it's a shame for Mohan Vishwa to come and tell BJP is doing work.
Okay, there is no space for personal comments here. Mr. Nagaraju Yadav and Mr. Mohan Vishwa. Gentlemen, take a breath. I'll come back to you. Professor Gowda, I'm coming back. Abhishek made some pertinent points and he said that within the Congress party right now, the three crucial elements that he talks about are central leadership or talking about an intra-party democracy. Also the appeal to the larger caste vote bank, which is declining. Do you see these factors playing a part as far as Congress internal democracy, or many question if there's a democracy, that is concerned, and the ability of the party to sort out these differences? Because we have seen this issue crop up in various state units of the Congress party.
Yeah. So the assembly elections are almost 8 months away, yes. and I can't imagine the Congress High Command, however weak or strong it may be at this point, just sitting quiet any longer. I'm sure there'll be some attempts to patch up the differences between the leaders, etc. But yes, you can also see it as an evidence of democracy within the party that allows people like the individuals to make claims so freely. You can also see it positively that way, although it makes for bad optics in the eyes of the public. And what is essentially and behind the scenes reality within the BJP, let's say, where there are also multiple CM aspirants, it doesn't spill out like this. But the fact remains that there are, except for the JDS, where it's very clear who the CM candidate will be. The other parties, there are multiple claimants who will do all they can to get the position. But as far as the last question is concerned, I would expect the Congress High Command to do something in this respect. I mean, Rahul has already met them once, but that hasn't done much clearly. But I don't think that's the end of the High Command's efforts at patching things up.
Abhishek, I'm coming back to you. Please go ahead, sir. You had a point to make.
Very quick. I mean, this is the question you raised earlier about lower caste mobilization among the BJP.
Yes.
They have, among the Dalits, in Karnataka, you have two major divisions, which is usually called the right-hand and the left-hand Dalits. And the right-hand Dalits have traditionally been with the Congress. The left-hand Dalits have increasingly tilted towards the BJP. That's because of BJP's efforts. Initially, they were moving towards the JDS, but no longer. And similarly, Mohan Bhagwat visited Karnataka a couple of weeks ago and met with heads of matas of lower caste communities.
Yes.
So they're mobilizing regardless of what happens on the Congress
And
front.
that's a direct detriment to the Congress party and also the JDS if that vote bank is slowly shifting. I want to go to Abhishek as well. Abhishek, you made a point about the decimating effect of identity or caste politics in this country. Unfortunately, or the reality of the politics is that strong caste identity, community identity, remains a reality on the ground. However, there's a shift and a change which is happening. As Professor Gaurav was talking about, the mobilization of the so-called lower strata of the society, is that working in favor of the JDS or the BJP?
Yeah, so Anusha, what I would say is, of course, caste politics is still the biggest factor in Indian politics. What I'm saying is that people nowadays, they don't want to really admit overtly that, they don't want to hear overt caste appeal. It's there, it's under the surface. They just don't want to hear it. And you'll see the same thing in Uttar Pradesh, you'll see it in Maharashtra. People don't want to be told, I'm from your caste, vote for me. But the larger point that I want to make is that I believe the Congress is underestimating the BJP in Karnataka. They think Karnataka is a state just like Rajasthan or Uttarakhand, where the incumbent always loses. So the Karnataka Congress right now, they believe the election is already in the bag, so they are already over who will become CM.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to explain is that there has been a massive change in the political geography of Karnataka. Previously, BJP used to fight only about 165 of the 224 seats. 59 seats of the old Mysore region, the BJP was simply nowhere. But after the 2018 election, the Congress made the strategic mistake of aligning with the JDS.
Yeah.
As a result of this, the old Mysore region essentially...
Okay, I'm going back to our political get, Mr. Mohan, Vishwa and Nagaraju Yadav. Mr. Yadav, coming back to you. You are a senior leader within the Congress party, and most experts would say, I'm not even talking about your political opponents, that this is high time that the Congress High Command should step in. As a senior leader of the party, what are your expectations from the High Command, or how is it that you see this entire feud between Mr. D.K. Sivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah getting settled, because it has gone on for far too long?
No, I want to frankly tell you one thing. I being the chief of media cell today, I'm very much aware. Our leaders are aware, and what is the reason we have to come back to power in Karnataka? Because people of Karnataka are suffering. We cannot have an individual agendas. And Shivakumar being a PCC president and CLP leader being the Siddaramaiah Saab being the leader, both are important leaders of Karnataka state. We have Karge Saab and Parmeshwar and HK Patil are the senior leaders with us. We all have come to a conclusion that we have to defeat the communal forces in Karnataka, and High Command is always have a confidence in our leaders, and we'll go by the decision of the MLAs and the High Command. And Rahul Gandhi is participating in Siddaramaiah's program.
One more direct question to you. One more direct question to you.
No differences at all. BJP is trying to campaign against Congress like this, saying that...
Well, sir, today it was a statement from your own leader that has sparked off this entire discussion that we are having at 6.
5 seconds, madam.
Sure,
Basungoda Ethnal said 2,500 crores will spend if anybody wants to become a chief minister. This way governance has to be done in Karnataka state. 300 crores to be spent to become a minister.
Well, sir, these are exactly the right issues that any opposition party should raise. The question right now, which has emerged, and all thanks to the statement, and all thanks to the statement of the own Congress party leaders, is that is there a vertical split within the Congress party, and will the High Command be able to control it?
There is no question of split. There is no question of confusion. We will go together. We will believe in collective leadership. Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar will go together.